In this video, I'm showing you how to do the Lemonade Fulani hairstyle with boho extensions and on your natural hair. I wanted to show you guys both ways, and I'm going to be starting off with doing the natural hair lemonade braids. I am starting off with showing you guys how I did the twist in the back and around the sides just a little bit. I'm at the top row and I am just parting it. Everything that I'm doing, as you can see underneath the section that I am doing, is not twisted yet. And that's because I am using the braiding gel. Everything that I use will be in the description box below. So check out that. You can also click the link and you can order it. And the great thing about that is it comes straight to your house and you don't have to worry about going anywhere. But anyway, I use the braiding gel just to slick down any puffy areas, and then I just braid to a point. I'm going to go back after I do all of the little braided parts and twist them, which you'll be seeing soon. I just wanted to show you guys how I started and the whole process from there. If you want to see a live of me doing this hairstyle, check it out on my channel. But yeah, I'm just showing you guys how I use it. And you can kind of see my daughter holding the braiding gel for me because I do not have my bracelet on, which I normally do, only because I knew I wasn't going to need the gel that much, just pretty much to clean up the parts. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. Also, try to catch me on my live, send some gifts and some love. I would really appreciate that. Also, check out my store and just order you some stuff. You know, I got some cute little hairstyle shirts and things like that. You guys go and order you some. It's super cute. But yeah, just make sure you subscribe, like, share this video. If you are not watching this on YouTube and you're watching on Facebook, then follow me. You can also subscribe as well. But anyway, now you see I'm at the top. You can basically see how I created the foundation for this hairstyle. I parted ear to ear and then I picked which side she wanted to do her left side. And I just did like 2 rows on that side. And then the rest will, of course, go into the one side, which is what makes it the Lemonade Fulani style. But you can kind of see this is the stopping point of where the twist will be. Now that I have everything done as far as like the foundation braided, I am now going back and I'm about to twist it. I am using the Cream of Nature Argan Oil foam styling mousse, and that's what I like to use because it's light. It's not heavy on the twist and it gives it a nice little bounce to it. If you're doing any type of flexi set or something like that, this is also the type of mousse you want to use. I also like this mousse because it has like a little oily texture, I would say. It just feels nice and polished and nice on the hair. So my daughter's hair loves this stuff, so this is what I'm using to do the twist. I also want to say that I am doing her hair on blow dry hair. It really makes a difference than for me to be starting it on her natural curl with no stretching to it. I think that when I do it off blow dry hair, it still gives it that length that I want. Not complete shrinkage, but just enough shrinkage. And I think it's just, I don't know, it just looks better and it's more easier to part through. But either way, you can also do the twist on hair that is not blow dry, but for me, I prefer it being a little blown out. It doesn't have to be straight, but just a little blown out, just to give it just a little length and not make it so shrinkage, if you will. And I'm just going in, you see that I put a couple pumps and then I'm detangling it with my unbrush and then I am twisting to my right. And as I twist, I'm not really coiling it like some people say do like a rope twist. This is not a rope twist. I'm literally just twisting and going, twisting and going. No twists in between. And before I get to twisting, I make sure that it feels even and that the length is even. So when I twist and get to the end, it's not like one part is shorter. So I basically go up to where the braid part is and I split it evenly in half and then I start to twist. Because I know for some, they'll say, well, the twist wasn't long enough on this strand. You can see I evenly separated it, then I began to twist. You do not want to have one of the splits being bigger or even longer in that case. You want to make sure that you can eyeball and make sure that it will be long and lengthy, and you want to make sure they're about the same width as far as thickness so that it doesn't look like a wonky twist. The reason I like to do a braid at the root and then a twist at the end, I know some people are thinking, why didn't you just twist it from the root? Because I wanted it to last longer on the root. I feel like it lays flatter. So for me, I just like doing the twist this way. But if you want to do it where it's just twisted straight from the root, all you do is separate into 2 even sections and then you just twist right from the root. But I wanted it to be a little formed more where you can see the parts. That's why I braid it then twist. But to each their own, you could do it whatever way you want to. But for me, this looks more polished and I like it more this way. Now that we're at the top section, I do want to say that off camera, I did pre-part all of the parts for this top section. You want to make sure you go do that and just pre-part. You're going to basically see me just cleaning up the parts that I mapped out already. The reason why you want to map out your parts is because you want to make sure that your design is matching evenly throughout the entire process, in that you have the right amount of braids and you don't get to a point where it's like it's not enough hair to fit a braid or something like that. So you want to make sure you just map out your parts, and then after that just clip them off and then just clean them up and then start the braiding process like you see that I am doing. All I did was put the braiding gel, clean up the parts, and now I'm going to start showing you guys what exactly I mapped out when I did the pre-parting. You can kind of see that I do have them clipped away up above while I'm starting this braid. When you do start braiding, make sure it's not super tight. I always want to encourage that because you do not want any type of bumps. That means that the person's hair is being pulled out. So just be mindful of that. I am a very mindful braider when it comes to that because I do know that I tend to braid a lot tighter when I'm braiding on the scalp. So I'm always being super cautious and just making sure that I'm not braiding super tight, and I just take my time and do not rush the process at all, because rushing it can cause you also to tighten up. At least I know that for myself. So that's why you see me just showing you guys how I am braiding it. And it's very easy to create a design. People think that designs is very difficult to do. All you do is just map it out with the parting and then follow up with how you mapped it out. Now, I'm not going to say all designs is easy, but for the most part, it's not very difficult unless you're doing something super intricate and just very different from just a twist or a twirl or a snake or a heart or something like that. You just really just have to know how to map it out and then create the braid. I do want to pop in and say that this hairstyle probably took me an hour and a half. and I love it because it's quick and easy. I haven't seen a lot of natural Lemonade Fulani braid styles like this on natural hair. I've seen them with all types of extensions, which I will be running another one just like this, but with twist, with extensions. But for now, I'm loving this natural look, trying to do trending styles on natural hair. And this gives my daughter a break from extensions because she does tend to break out from the synthetic hair. Because she is rocking twists, I do tend to go after a couple days and put a couple different products on her scalp as far as oiling it. And then I put some leave-in conditioner on her twist and even some more of that mousse just to keep her twist nice and juicy while she's wearing this hairstyle, because over time those twists can kind of look kind of dull if you don't tend to them and moisturize them to the best of your ability. And I just make sure I'm taking care of her scalp as she rocked this hairstyle. This hairstyle can last 3 weeks, even 4, but I would recommend 3 because you need to get to that scalp and you need to clean it. You can also unravel it the week that you want to take down the hairstyle, the back part, and just let it be like a 2-strand twist, untwisted, and it'll look so cute. We already did that hairstyle. Wish I would have recorded it because she did have a party she went to, and I just undid all the twists prior to and then did some type of protective thing while she swam. If you want to see this unravel, I'll try to get some footage of it because we're probably going to do the same thing. Just unravel it, let her rock it while it's unraveled and before we take it down within that 3rd week. And yeah, you want to leave out some baby hairs. Also, again, I do want to say if you're doing this lemonade style, ask your client what side they want the braids to fall on their face or fall on, rather it's their face or just to the side. Ask them what their favorite side is. I know for certain clients, certain sides may be thicker than the other. So sometimes I just have to recommend like, hey, I know you prefer the left side, but your right side is a lot thicker. It'll be better as far as the cornrows and how it fall. And they pretty much go with it as long as you explain why you chose to go the opposite side that they preferred. Or you can continue and just maybe just add in some Marley hair just to give it that fullness. With her, you can see, again, no extensions, but that's just a bit of advice of doing this type of hairstyle and what to do and what to ask. Because I know a lot of people just say, well, how did you know what side? Because I asked her, what side do you want your hair to fall on? When you go shower or bathe, you want to make sure that you are wearing a shower cap. When you're going to sleep, you want to make sure you're wearing like a scarf to lay it down. Or I always put it in a ponytail for her, like a little low pony, and then we just wrap a scarf around because I want her cornrows to be laid flat. I don't want it to frizz, so I'm not doing the bonnet action. I don't put on too many things also on her scalp because your scalp will sweat. So we pretty much just tie her hair down and call it a day, and then she just take them out, and then we go on about our day. And that's pretty much how you can upkeep this hairstyle. Now that I am basically almost done with the cornrows, you're going to see me do the twist for all the cornrows. I did not do the twist after I did the cornrows because I wanted to put this mousse foaming styling mousse on, and I didn't want that product on my hand as I did the cornrows. So that's why you see me doing it last. And now that I've completed all the cornrows, now you're going to see me twist them all the way down. And I do want to say it is 2 rows underneath these cornrow sections of just regular twist, and just like how the back is looking. So that is all underneath as well. I also want to stress that when you are doing these twists, you want to make sure that the hair is detangled. That's why you will see me with the unbrush detangling it before I twist it, because you do not want knots in these twists. They will be horrible trying to get it loose when you're trying to take it out, and you'll have a lot of breakage. So you just want to make sure that it is not tangled at all. Once I'm all done, I just spray it down with oil sheen just to give it a little more, shine. And then I'm going to lay those edges, put some mousse on it, do all the little finishing touches to this. And it's pretty much, it's just so cute. Oh my goodness. I'm loving it. Here is the finished product. Super cute. This hairstyle, of course, took way quicker, but here's this one, which took about 6 hours. This is the one with extensions and the boho curl. And yeah, it's so cute. And I'm about to show you guys how I did this hairstyle. Starting off with going from ear to ear for the lemonade part, of course. And then I'm going to start slicking up the back. You're going to see me slick this all up. You want to make sure all those little flyaways and everything is slicked up. I am using pure neat braid. As you guys always know that I love that braiding gel is my favorite braiding gel. And then I'm starting my first row. When you do the Lemonade Tribal Boho look, it's pretty much like doing any type of Fulani hairstyle. That is why you want to have the half up, half down, and then you're going to do at least 6 rows of knotless braids. As far as the boho, which is adding the curls, I do add that in last, and I will tell you why once we reach that part of the video. But for right now, my sole focus is the knotless braid. I am kind of giving you guys real time of just the process. It's not a quick hairstyle to do, to be honest. It took at least 6, maybe 7 hours, maybe even 8, because I was filming. If I wasn't filming, it would have went a lot faster, but because I have to have the camera right for you guys and make sure the angles and the lighting to the best of my ability, your girl turned into a whole videographer. But anyway, I'm starting off with a knotless braid. Like I told you guys, I'm doing real time because I just want to show you guys how to do it. Usually I don't show you guys the back, like starting it off, how I start my rows. But I feel like since I haven't done it in a long time that I'm just going to show you right now. I do feed in the hair immediately. For me, I think that makes the hair not seem so weak at the base. Because sometimes people don't have thick hair right off the jump. I also think it makes it look more neat. I don't like seeing like a tiny braid started and then all of a sudden it gets thick as it like just super thick. I don't like that look. It drives me insane. So I tend to make it, at least it is of course smaller than, I just add in small pieces. But I don't like it to look like, oh, I braided at least 2 or 3 times of that person's natural hair, and then I start feeding in extension. It's just getting thicker and thicker. I don't want any life support braids. When I say life support braids, I mean where it look like at any moment it can just get broken off by just, and I think about like, what if you snag your hair? Because I've had braids that was so long that when I got out the car, like moving too quickly, I slammed them in the door. Like, what the heck? So just imagine if you did that on an accident. Like, what the heck? Slammed your own self and they had to undo it. So I don't like life support braids. So that is why you see me immediately. So you'll see me split it into 3 sections, do a little cross about, and then I'm feeding in here. Of course, I'm using a braiding rack. I love to have my hair prepped. My daughter, which is my favorite, one of my favorite models, my daughter and my boys are always my favorite models. But yeah, anyway, she prepped all the hair. You want to prep small pieces because you don't want to. And then if you need to grab 2 at a time, you can do it that way just to thicken it up. But you always want to do small pieces, especially when doing the size that I'm doing, which is considered like a medium, or maybe even small to some. Your size is your size. I hear a lot of people that go to braiders like, I don't understand how this size is this size and this size is this size. First of all, when you do a knotless braid, it's all about the density of your client's hair. You might have long hair, but your hair may not be super thick. I know for me, girls be wanting tiny braids, and I just don't be feeling comfortable if you have like fine, thin hair, because rather I'm feeding it in or braiding it in like a regular box braid, that hair, the extension is still weighing down your hair and your hair follicles. So I go by the density of my client's hair, and that's pretty much how I base it upon. Now, if they just so want it, then of course I may do it for them a lot smaller. But your boxes is your boxes, and your knotless size is your knotless size. So I'm not here to be the one to tell you that. I just want to show you guys how to do the hairstyle. So of course, I'm not going to show you guys a whole repetitive motion of me doing the back row. I did do everything else off camera or on live. I did do this hairstyle on live. So if you want to see me on live, just go ahead and watch it. It is muted because we were watching the fall of the House of Ushers on Netflix. If you haven't seen that, go watch that. But yeah, I can't be having that out because they will ban me. So your girl did go live with it. But as you can see, I am on the 6th row. I believe it's 6 rows that I did. You can do them smaller and do 9 rows. But for her, we're going to boho this thing out. So it didn't really matter. She didn't want it heavy. She is expecting. Yes, your girl's about to be, what do you call a grandma if you're the step? Am I a step grandma? Anyway, I'm about to be a grandma. And no, I'm not going to be called grandma. I'm gonna let her name me what she want to name me. But grandma, I'm just too young to be grandma. But anyway, back to the braid. But as far as you guys can see, I braided it all the way down to a certain length, and left some hair out. I did tie it off with the knot, and then, yeah, that's the part for me to curl. My main focus is showing you guys this top part. So instead of having this section going all the way to the other side, I did it a different way. So I'm doing this to fall that way like a regular Fulani. And of course, you want to leave the baby hairs out. My daughter was like, leave me a decent amount of baby hairs because that's the only side that's going to be showing baby hairs. So she wanted to basically have some cute baby hairs. And y'all know I call them finger waves when it's just too many. So I think she got the motion of the ocean, and then she's just waving it out in some ocean waves. But anyway, it's still going to be cute, and it is what it is. But y'all know she got some finger waves. So this is motion of the ocean. But yeah, so you're going to see me part off a lot. Try not to get the motion of the ocean waves into the braid, but I'm starting off with super small pieces. I also want to say I did part it off. You can see I have it clipped. I did map this thing out because it just helps me know the direction that I want to go in when doing any type of braiding when it comes to Fulani. I wanted you guys to know that that's the best way to go. You guys need to map out the parts because you don't want to end up doing so many braids and then realize you got a little baby braid because you didn't section it off right. So make sure you section it off. Take your time. You do see your eyes closed. I am getting one of the tender spots, but she wouldn't stop me at all from doing what I was doing. But it is a little tender. I'm not pulling too tight or anything like that. But everybody has tender spots when getting their hair done. And yeah, if it was too tight, trust me, she would definitely be like, whoa, 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 stop the party. So yeah, but just take your time. Make sure you have your comb by, so if anything that is clipped still flies in the way, you can move it away, and you just continue braiding. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're watching it from the TV, just go up to my face, click it, then you'll see subscribe. I have been looking at my analytics, seeing like, oh, a lot of people have been watching my videos from the television, which is so cool because you get it up close and personal, especially if you have a good, great big screen TV and all that good stuff. So yeah. And if you're watching it from the phone, it's pretty easy. You just, click that subscribe, but just click my face. Either way, click my face, click the logo on the right, whatever you gotta do. Just make sure you subscribe so you can see more footage of what I got going on. And I do have early releases on a lot of my things for members only. Become part of my family so you can get all the things early, as well as videos about myself that I will be posting, and little cheat sheets that I will be posting as well on just how to achieve certain hairstyles that I won't have in all of my videos due to, just certain things happening. But yeah, I'm just braiding it down. I'm not going to show you for all of these braids, me braiding it all the way down. I do want to say that on the other side, opposite side of this side, about the same section, which I will be showing you, but you want to section off some hair for some old knotless braids. Majority of this hairstyle is knotless braids, so make sure you are aware of that so you have enough braiding hair on your braiding rack and not just, oh, I'm just going to do the Fulani and that's going to be it. No. You're going to be doing some more knotless, so I'm just taking a break right here. But yeah, you see, I'm just first braid, initially showing you guys real time of me braiding it down. I do want to talk about how long this hairstyle will last. If you are tying it up, not in a bonnet, but with a scarf, silk scarf, that is the best way to go. When you're bathing and showering, shower cap time, just because you don't want to have it. But this hairstyle should last you at least 4 weeks max. I would definitely say 3 weeks. That's if you're, I would definitely say 3 weeks because your scalp needs to get wet and, get cleansed and clean. But I would go for the max because that's just me. I do like 4 weeks. I may even stretch it for 4.5 weeks. That's just me. But it all depends on your hair texture, and it all depends on how you take care and maintain the hairstyle. Usually for people with soft, like looser curl, you definitely want to be on it when maintaining this hairstyle because anything could, you guys sometimes just look like you have like a little fuzz ball, on top of your head. Look like you've been wearing it for a long time if you don't tie it down. But that could be for anybody. But I know with my 4C hair, this hairstyle will definitely last me about 4 weeks. About 4 weeks max. That's when the cornrows really cornrowing, looking real weird. So I would say, like I said, minimum 4 weeks. Minimum 3 weeks, maximum 4 weeks. But yeah, you want to make sure you tie your hair down with this boho curl that I will be showing you how I add in. I'll just wait and I'll just tell you guys how to take care of it as I put it in. Or how about either way, I'm going to tell you guys how to take care of that boho hair because it is synthetic. You can't use human and etc. But yeah, as you can see, I am braiding in more hair and you see these pieces are small, very small. If your client has super thin hair, sometimes you can start off with a small piece of the extension. They will not notice it. I promise you. The people, unless they just going up with a magnifying glass or just going up trying to really see, oh my God, is this really a feed-in braid, stitch braid, whatever. I am not consciously stitching. I do have carpal tunnel, so yeah. But anyway, just if your client has, or if you have thin hair or edges that's just, not super thick, you can start off with a very tiny piece when starting in this at the edge, very edge, just to make sure that the braid is strong. I hope that makes sense. Like strong enough to maintain the look of the braid, because when you have it super thin and you don't add extension, it can easily rub out and look fuzzy, and you don't want that. So I would recommend you adding a very small piece and starting the braid, and then just feed in small pieces as you go. If you're wondering if I copied some type of design, I just went off my own mind. I've been braiding for a long time. If you've been watching my videos, you know I've told you guys this 1,000 times. I've been braiding for a long time. So I pretty much sometimes can picture exactly what I want to do in my client's hair. With the top part, not this part, but the part that's going to be going towards one side, I don't want to say I struggled with the design, but it was so many ideas. Sometimes your girl have like 1,000 ideas in her head, so many different things I want to try. I've been watching Tuki Did It. She's been inspiring me to just really do some other stuff, but some clients don't want that. But anyway, with this design, I was really trying to think, how can I make it last? What would be great? As far as it falling over her face, I was thinking about how I want it to fall, if it falls directly over her eye, etc., etc., etc. What would irritate her, just what was best for her. So that was my thought process when doing this hairstyle. Again, my daughter is pregnant, and I just want her to be able to manage this the best way that she can. And her hair texture isn't a 4C, is really a loose, like her hair texture is so good. Not even so good, but her hair texture curl pattern is so like easy that her braids will literally unravel if I was just braiding her natural hair. So she has really soft curls, and yeah, I was just really trying to think how this would be long lasting for her. Even her, she was just like, I think I can really just maximum 3-week it. I will be doing a short showing you guys how it looked by the time it was time for her to take it out, and let you guys know how long her 3A hair lasted with this hairstyle. With the design, I literally just winged it. I literally just did some pre-parting, if you will, and then I was like, that's what we're going to do. It looks good that way. So that's how I came up with the design. Now I'm on the other side. So I'm on the last row of knotless for this side. So you see I pretty much went and parted over the arch of her eyebrow. That's kind of how I marked it. And I also kind of mapped out where that first braid will hang. Will it fall directly over that eye on this side, or is it going to come closer to this knotless braid? So keep in mind, make sure you have at least an idea on what you want to do. It is 3 rows of knotless on this side. Some you can do 2, you could do 3. It all depends on your client's head size and what your client wants. She may want it to fall all the way over and not necessarily hit her eye, but just fall on one side. So ask your client when doing this hairstyle how they want it to fall. I also like to put knotless braids because sometimes when you braid it all the way down to their ear or something like that, it can just be kind of like irritating. I know for me, if I had this hairstyle, I would want a couple rows of knotless just so it don't feel like my head is just pushed down with braid. I don't know. It's just my thought process of it all. I want it to have a little volume to it and not look like just like a layer of, a layer of stitch braids. I want it to look like, oh, it's got a little body on this side. So that's pretty much why I like to put at least a row. But I like to recommend at least a row for my clients, or at least 2 rows, maybe even 3, but I like a row. of Knotless. I feel like it helps with the pulling, just the tugging of it all. And I think it just makes it look more better, like look more polished, more better, because it's like, oh, you got these little 8 braids on this one side. Like, no, I want it to be looking like you have like full 15 braids on this side. So I hope that all makes sense. But that's just my logic and my thought process. You can do what you want to do, but that is how I am doing this hairstyle. And now you see I am doing this first braid, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did this twice. Once I made it too big, and then I had redid it, and I just was trying to figure out how I wanted it to curve and really fall. And me and my daughter kind of collaborated and came up with an idea of where she wanted it to fall exactly. Not too much in her face, but in her face. Like I said before, you want to ask your client, and that's pretty much how she wanted it. I also think that you should always keep in mind of what your client wants. Sometimes you can't give them everything they want when doing their hair, but you want to make sure you ask, and just to make sure, because especially with a style like this, because if it falls in a way that they may not like it, that can cause a lot of issues. So make sure you really discuss what side, and even ask your client, what side do you want the braid to fall on? So I did ask her, what side do you want the braids to go to one side on? And she said this side. So that's another thing you want to think about when doing this hairstyle. So from here on out, I'm going to just show you how I do the rest of this hairstyle as far as the cornrow stitch braids. So just stay tuned for the boho section and how I added that in, as well as the curling of the ends and things like that. Please comment below and let me know if you will try this hairstyle and if any of my tips has helped you. I really want to know if the tutorials that I'm showing you guys is really helpful and give you an idea of the best way to achieve this look. I don't want anyone to watch this and not take something away from my hairstyle. So please let me know if you like this hairstyle, if you'll try this hairstyle, if you're going to use any of these pointers, if you are a braider or you're thinking about getting this hairstyle, please let me know in the comments below. I do respond. I do chime in. Yeah, I like for us to have this community and my gems. I call you guys my gems. You know, I like to have you guys like incorporate it in my videos to let you guys know that I do see you and I do want to make content for you guys that is helpful and something you can learn from. So I would appreciate any type of feedback. And yeah, just watch me create the top part of this look. For the most part, I did know how I wanted like these first 2 braids, but then they got a little had to really go and map it out, and then I remapped it, and then I mapped it out, and it's okay. But I'm just letting you guys know that this is why I say map out your client's hair. Really make sure, you know, you're clipping it off and you have the parts how you need to have it parted and all that good stuff. So yeah. Now I am oiling her scalp, making sure it's nice and moisturized. I do that right after I get done braiding everything down because I don't want the curls to really, they're going to touch it, but I don't want that to be in my way. So I am doing that now while I am waiting for the water to boil in my kettle. And I'm going to be adding on some perm rods. I decided to use perm rods for this hairstyle because I feel like perm rods are a more tighter curl. You can use flexi rods. It still works. It still can be tight, but for me, I feel like perm rods just does the job for me. I'm using like a medium size of perm rods. Always ask your client what type or what size of perm rods they want. Medium, large, small. So she's getting a medium because I think it'll flow better with this beach curl synthetic hair from Free Tress. And I dip the hair. Also, when you dip the hair, you want to make sure you are using the proper tools. You're an adult. You're not a child. Because you don't want to burn yourself. But anyway, or you're being supervised. But yeah, you see I unraveled the curls. I like to do that first because I don't want that to be in my way when I dip the hair before I add the boho curl. Now you see me just latch hooking in the boho curls. She wants it to be a heavy amount, kind of in a Bora Bora way. So heavy on the boho. When I say heavy, that means every braid has to have a curl on it, 2 or 3 curls on it. It's really up to you on how you want to do it. In the back, I gave her 2 on, I did like 2 on 1, and then yeah, I kind of just scattered it all over. But that's pretty much how I do the boho. I'm not going to show you guys like how I did the entire head, but I pretty much put boho on every braid, and I just tuck it under and I just do like a little loop, pull through, and that's pretty much how you do the boho look. And I do all these steps ahead of time because this is synthetic curls, and I'm not saying they're going to get all ratty and nappy or anything like that, but I didn't want to risk them getting straightened. So that's why I didn't want to clip up a whole bunch of curly hair, so that's why I did it last. Here's the finished product. I hope you enjoyed the double feature of just seeing both with extensions and without extensions. And if you want to see some other tutorials, click right here. Peace and hair grease.